Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. This is not as good as some of the other Star Wars movies, but I think it's really good and it has its place in the franchise. It also kind of shows you how Anakin is going to go down the path of the dark side. 10 years after the events of the first movie or the previous movie, you have Anakin now something like a 20-year-old, played by Hayden Christensen. You have Ian McGregor returning as Obi-Wan Kenobi, Natalie Portman returning as now Senator Amidala, Ian McDermott, I don't know how to pronounce it, Samuel L. Jackson, Christopher Lee comes as Count Dooku, what a cool name, Anthony Daniels, Kenny Baker, Frank Oz, Temuera Morrison as, and who is still playing the role of he plays Jango Fett, the dad of Boba Fett, but yeah, he also is Boba Fett later on. You see Boba Fett as a kid in this movie. Silas Carson and Jimmy Smith. So basically, to go through the entire story is a little bit difficult, but I really like this film. Like I mentioned in the previous review, these movies are very important for, especially considering like how come Anakin turned to the dark side, what really led him down this path. This is very important actually. The prequels are really important if you, at least according to me, if you really want to know the Star Wars story basically. But I am tired of the Skywalker saga. You get to see a lot more of Master Yoda in this. You see him fighting. You see Count Dooku. Dooku's awesome, by the way. But yeah, he is Christopher Lee, man. It's Christopher Lee. So yeah, really like this. A lot of people have said that the romance aspects between Anakin and Padme is a little bit creepy, considering the fact that she's a few years older than him, and back then she was a teenager when they first met, and he was still a preteen. But he does have romantic feelings towards her. It's a doomed relationship, that's what you can see. So basically, they are both the Jedi's, Kenobi and Obi-Wan and his apprentice Anakin are trying to protect, former Naboo Queen, now Senator Padme Amidala, and when she travels for a vote, basically it's all politics, and there's a couple of assassination attempts on her. That part, the one where they're actually chasing the bounty hunter, doesn't feel like Star Trek to me. I mean, it feels like something more like the Fifth Element. To be honest, it doesn't really feel like Star Wars. But when they are on the planet on where is that? On Tatooine. Sorry, not Tatooine. Sorry. When they're on Tatooine and on Padme's home planet as well, that feels more like Star Wars to me. So yeah, my favorite part of this film is the entire thing about Obi-Wan Kenobi trying to find when he's on the path to searching for the bounty hunter. He's led to Kamino, which is an ocean planet, and he goes to Yoda and says like he can't find this planet on the map, and then they meet the younglings and they say that it looks like somebody went and erase the details of this particular planet. And it could have only been a Jedi, and of course we later found out that it's actually Count Dooku who's did it. He goes to the planet where the aliens on that planet they are creating this clone army for the Republic, and initially it was a deceased Jedi Master named Sifo Dyas, who actually, I think that's how you pronounce it, who actually asked them to do this for them, and then you get to see that Jango Fett is the genetic template, and all the clones basically look like him. He has asked in return, other than the payment that he's getting, he has also asked for them to give him a clone which he basically treats like a son, and he hasn't fully grown up. It's basically like he gets the regular treatment, and that guy becomes that boy becomes Boba Fett. I know that entire water planet, kind of ocean planet scenes in that is something which I really like quite a lot. And and then this goes the romance between Anakin and Padme, which is heartbreaking when you know that things are not going to turn out all great later on. But it's nice to see that relation. Jar Jar Binks is much more subdued in this movie. And then I love the fight scene with all the Jedi and Count Dooku's men and all of those Yoda, Mace Windu, and some of the other Jedi fighting, and the battle between the fight between Obi and Anakin fighting with Dooku. They both are beaten in lightsaber duel, but then Yoda comes and he is pretty strong, even though he uses a stick to walk around. So but Count Dooku is basically awesome in this. Like Christopher Lee, man, come on, that guy is like amazing. How Dracula, Count Dooku was actually fitting. And then of course you see that Anakin has lost one of his arms, much like his son will lose his arm later, and he is fitted with a robotic arm. In secrecy, he marries Padme on Naboo. Naboo, that's the name of the planet I couldn't get in my mind. And basically they say that the Clone Wars is about to begin. So if you have not seen the animated series, The Clone Wars, I haven't myself. That's actually happening between this movie and Revenge of the Sith. So I might try to watch that sometime down the line. But like I said, television, I think it's actually pretty good, but I'm not really sure about whether I'm going to watch it anytime soon. And we also see that Chancellor Palpatine has got his eye on grooming Anakin. He knows that he can turn Anakin to the dark side. And so that's all pretty. It's a good movie. It's not my favorite, but yes, it's got a lot of good things going on for it. And that's it. I will give this movie, which was made on a budget of 115 million. And it made 653.8 million in the box office. I will give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. That's what I feel about it. And yes, Hayden Christensen is very wooden in a lot of these roles, but you can imagine it's his biggest role he's ever done. I think he's way better in Revenge of the Sith. But yeah, I do understand people's complaints. His acting is a little choppy, is a little wooden in this particular movie. But yeah, like I said, a lot of good things about this film. 7.5 out of 10 for me. Have a good night.